play a virtual game. Since we are 1 to 10 people, we will write numbers from 1 to 20, random numbers, and we'll only write 10 numbers, okay, on the paper, on piece of paper. Only 10 numbers from 1 to 10. So any speaker who is talking, when I call out the name, they will tell us the number that they want to pick, and we will strike that number on our sheet, okay? And just to add significance, why on this group, we'll also learn why did you call that number, okay? Like end of the entire club, we will see who has the maximum number of numbers, okay? And they are the winners. Sam, if you would like to share chocolates with us. Yes,
so who have a more strikeouts or who have more leftouts?
More strikeouts, okay?
Okay.
Let's start. We have our first speaker, and that is Limmy. Limmy, go ahead and please call my number so I eat the food.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Limmy here. So I have to call out the number, right?
Yes. Please, Limmy.
So
I want to give myself.
Number 3. Okay. So let me start with, so thank you. I'm the first speaker. So we all know that today we have chosen this one book, which is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. So it's a very good book, because see, we all are surrounded with people, right? Whatever profession we are into, any profession, any business or any job, we are surrounded with people. Or if you are at home also, you are surrounded with people. So we have to learn how to deal with people and how to win them and how they will like you, okay? So, so before starting my topic, I just want to say something. How many of you have watched this movie Munna Bhai MBBS? In the end, I think almost in the climax part, there is a scene where the dean asks Munna Bhai to go out of the college, and there was a protest and all. And there's one housekeeping old man, he comes and he also says he will not go. So the dean asks him, so he says that मैं इतने सालों से यहाँ काम करता हूँ, आप मुझे नहीं जानते हो, but Munna knows my name, right? So why he liked Munna Bhai is because he calls him by his name, he remembers his name, right? So this is what the chapter what I'm going to cover is. Everybody of us like our name. We love our name, whatever it is, we love our name, right? So, and we love people calling us by our name. So that is what the chapter says here. The book, yes, from this book, the chapter says, if you don't do this, you are headed for trouble. That means you have to take name of the person whenever you are speaking with them. So simple example, right? Whenever we are messaging to anyone, so it's not that just you're messaging hi and just dropping your message. After the hi, you have to write their name so that they feel that yes, this message is particularly going to them, because we normally do that, right? Sometimes we give a broadcast message or a group message, but when you write their name, it feels that yes, this message is going particularly to them and they like it very much. They start liking you. And the author says here that it is an effort. I have also heard that people say, I'm very bad at names. I can't remember names. So this is, but I'm very good at names. I can remember most of the names. So author says that people who say that they can't remember their other's name or they're bad at names, they are not putting effort. He says that you have to put effort to remember others' name. And there is nothing called busyness. You can't, people say that I'm busy, that I can't remember. He says, gives a very good example here that Franklin Roosevelt, the US president once upon a time, he remembers everybody's name. There is no busy person than a president of a country, right? He remembers even a mechanic's name who visits his resident. So if you want, you can remember people's name, and that will help you in, means if others like you, then you can reach higher levels. So he again says that if you can't remember name of people, then you can't remember things in your business or in your job. So better to remember others' names so that you can reach higher levels. With this, I'm done. Thank you.
Absolutely true, Limi. I love my name. We spoke about this in the past also. And it's very important to call our names, and it's like a pride also, right? And people like and people connect. If someone pronounces my name correct, I'm the happiest of all. So yeah, it's very important. And I think calling by names or is kind of respect also that we are giving by spending some time giving out names or calling out
Correct.
names, so which is correct.
Yeah, I have something to say about this because when we are in corporate or maybe you're going somewhere, probably to a marriage or a function or wherever. See, mostly in corporate actually, so you see securities, you have housekeeping, and most of them address them as security or a housekeeping. And you can see the zing in their face when you call them with name. So probably the security's name, you call him Pratik or maybe whatever, Sam or whatever. You can see that response will be different rather than when you call them, hey security, or maybe hey housekeeping guy. So always that will be there. So when you call somebody with name, they think that okay, it's a personalized to me. It's just like it is personalized. No, personally they're calling my name, and there'll be a lot of difference in that. And I've seen that in my offices where when people call in that way, and people when there are some people who are very jovial with people actually, and when they call their names and they understand it, there'll be different kind of what you say, the response as well as the happiness what they have is totally different. Good stuff. Good chapter actually.
Yes, thank you so much, Limi. That was a great talk. And we have our next speaker, Suvarna. Suvarna, you will call out the number and then talk about the chapter from
I'll
the book.
follow number 1.
Yay! Thank you, Suvarna. Yes, you can talk about the book.
Yeah, today's my topic is from the same book. If you are wrong, admit it. Okay. This says about the author says that we have to face the situation and we have to admit our mistakes and wrongdoings, if any, to others. Then this will help the people to see us as a trustworthy humans. So admitting if you are wrong is actually a great way to build empathy, rapport, and trust. Instead of avoiding your mistakes or trying to hide them, it's better to admit it. So now we think normally that what could we say to a person who criticizes us normally or who explodes on us always. Then when we are right, we have to try to win gently and tactfully to our way of thinking. But when we are wrong, if we are honest with ourselves, let's admit our mistakes quickly. This technique will not only bring astonishing results, but also is more fun to do under the circumstance than to defend oneself. So to admit one's mistakes, one should have courage, and exhibiting this courage brings a great sense of satisfaction. This not only clears a feeling of guilt and defensiveness in us, but also helps us to solve the problems which are created by error. It raises a person above a herd and gives a feeling of nobility and liveliness to admit one's mistakes. So if we know that anyhow we are going to be criticized by others, it is better to do self-criticism and admit to others. Now, they also say, the author also say that say about yourself all the derogatory things the other person is thinking or wants to say or intends to say about you, and say them before the person has a chance to say them. So now what happens, these chances are like 100 to 1 that a generous, forgiving attitude will be taken, and you will get a peaceful time to look back and correct yourself. If you done a mistake, there will be a time for you to correct it and move on. So that's it for today for now. Thank you.
Okay, great talk, Suvarna. And yeah, it takes a lot of courage to admit it, but I think the learning after admitting is very important, right? The amount of learning you get after admitting. And I know for the fact whenever I make certain mistakes, when I go accept it, and after that, post learning is something that helps me a lot not to commit the same mistake. So yeah, thank you so much. I kind of forgot. Suvarna, why did you pick number 1?
Because I wrote it.
You know. Good one. Limmy, why did you pick 3? Don't tell me because you wrote it as well.
I thought of giving the same answer, but
Okay, I
No,
thought
it's-
I'll get
no.
some significance out of it as well.
it's B3, me, Sam, and Arav.
Oh, okay, superb. Okay, great. Nice. Thank you so much, Suvarna. Thanks, Limmy. And we have Vinuta. Vinuta, you're next. And you got to call out the number, say the significance, and talk about the chapter.
Yes. Hello all. Good evening. This is Vinuta. So I would like to call upon number 12. The reason is because it is my birthday date, so I wanted. So I called out 12.
Lucky number. Hmm.
Yes. Sir.
You can talk about the chapter, Vinuta.
So I have chosen chapter 1 of part 2. The name goes like this: Do this, and you will be welcome anywhere. Here, the author starts with an example of a dog. So we have pets at our home. Even I'm fond of dogs. So I love to caress them. I like to raise a dog. So what happens is that they, as soon as you enter your home, may it be dog or may it be any bird. So if it knows like you are approaching the home or the owner is approaching the home, or returning back to home, it feels so happy and it will run towards the owner and it'll hug, it'll run around, it'll jump. So it has not learned anywhere to act like that. It is like it is showing his interest in the human. So nobody has taught the dog to show like instead of impressing himself or itself to a human, it is like showing interest. Like it is what we can learn is that in order to make friends, the main thing what we have to do is like most of the time we use I you, but people, they want to be recognized. Like instead of telling suppose if I'm with my friend, if I keep on telling about my interest and I'm not asking about her or his interest, he'll lose interest. So mainly, even when we talk over phone, we can many times we can uh, listen to this pronoun called as I. I is used like everywhere. So what it shows that if you have to be welcomed anywhere or everywhere, the first thing is that you should stop impressing yourself. Like you should stop. You have to first show interest in others. So you have to allow others to talk about themselves, and you have to others to do their work. Like rather than talking about ourselves. So this is the main mantra, that if you have to be welcomed anywhere, so first, instead of concentrating on self, we have to allow others to tell about them. Maybe like it's like even when giving suggestions, like rather than talking about our own self, people feels happy when we feel that like they feel happy if we feel that they are being given more importance, right? So if we keep on boasting on ourselves, means nobody will get interested. So if you have to be welcomed everywhere, even like suppose if you are working in an organization, if you want to be welcomed by even a peon or a housekeeping department, or up to the catering department or any other, so you have to first give importance for what they are interested in. So this is how we can win people, and this is how we can be welcomed everywhere and anywhere by the people. So this is the small summary of this, because thank you so much.
Thanks, Vinuta. That was a great talk. I think connecting with people and understanding what they really want to listen is very important. If I got the gist of it, that's exactly what it says, right? You need to know what they are interested in and what they want to listen or hear to you about. So it's very important to connect with people. And thanks a lot for reiterating. And I think, yeah, it's very important to actually have that in our heads, at times we miss out on that. But yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you, Vinuta.
I
That was
have I have something to say about this, because see, some time back I had some government, some signature has to be done, and I went to somebody's place, and everybody's opinion about that person was like, he's a nerd, he will not, he will make you to come 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. So some of the information. So I use a little bit of people skills there. So I went there, and when I entered his home, there were a lot of, these momentums kept there actually. So many things there, and he was sitting. So before I talked to them, he was talking to me. All of a sudden, I just saw the momentum, and I just turned there. And I was stunnedly looking at there. So what is happening? You have so many momentum. So who's this for? Where do you get this from? And it was for his grand, sons or daughters who were in college and things like that, because he was an old man. And this guy started, I just asked him, what is this? And I just showed interest in it. And he started and he told entire Janam Kundli about things and actually every there. And whatever I have to get done, I got it done, and it came out. It's within like, a couple of hours what we had there. Like I just went there, I sat for some time and completed. So that's how it is. When you show interest in what they are in, rather than me, I going and telling him, I am this, I am that, I am that. No, he is never interested in me. So he's just interested in himself. So once we show interest in others, everything will happen in a proper way. It happens with anywhere. It's not only with the old man. Probably if you go to somebody's house to get something done, so if you show interest in them, it should be genuine interest. Don't make it fake. That some of them can make it out. So genuine interest showing there, it'll help out. Good stuff. Thank you.
Great example, Sam. I think it's very, very important, right? I mean, especially when you connect with people, your work gets done faster as well. Same as with the team, right? If you want to delegate something, you got to connect with them, understand if they're really interested, and give it to the right people also. Thanks, Sam. Thank you so much. Sam, do you want to? We do not have a couple of speakers like I see from the list.
Yes.
Prafula
Yes.
and Alok, I think we do not have, right?
Don't have. No. So we can
Okay,
introduce Deepika probably, and then we have Swati Jain to introduce. So
yes. Deepika, would you like to introduce yourself? Maybe your name, what you do, and what are your hobbies? Quick introduction, and call out the number and why did you call?
Yes, Tahseen. I'm Deepika, and Tahseen introduced me to this group as she's my manager. And presently, I'm a fresher, fresh out of the graduate school, and I'm currently working in Morgan Stanley. And I'm so excited about this group. As you mentioned about the book, I already have read it, and it played a major part, like right now, what the current role I'm working in, it plays the major part. So I want to share about this book. Actually, I started reading this book in initial stage of the lockdown in 2020. I noticed that all of the things that is mentioned in the book was already said by my mom to me. I thought, wow, wait, this is very strange. Every single point I know. Like what I want to say, like, means we know, like, regarding we have some perspective. We know everything, but we need some assurance or like what I can say.
Implementation.
Yeah.
Execution is a problem.
Yeah, implementation and execution.
Yes.
Registering it in our heads, right? Not according to the convenience, but always.
Okay,
Yes.
welcome. Welcome,
Great.
Deepika.
Thank you, Sanjus and Tahseen. My number, I want to say 4.
Yes.
Sam, you're gonna win. You know,
I
every
will
time you
get
say
I will get the food.
yeah, every time you say yes. Okay, do we have
I'm not joking. See there, 4 numbers cut. No,
oh,
you have
Papa.
1, 3, 4. I'll not show you the numbers. No,
He has all the numbers everyone has got in their heads. Okay, do you want to introduce anyone else, Sam?
I think Swati Jain is there from Delhi. She's joining from Delhi.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening. I'm Swati Jain from Ghaziabad, and I'm practicing as a nutrition and wellness advisor. And I'm excited about that group, but I'm not prepared with the topic. I already read that book in past. It's a very good book. After reading that, there are lots of changes in my habits and my attitudes, because there are lots of things which is true. We know that, but we are not applying in our life. So by reading that book and the lots of examples is there, Then I learned how we can apply that and how we can influence the other peoples, because the peoples is surrounding our us. So we have to take care of that people also. Only we are not the only person who is living in the world. That's why. So it's a very good book. I will start it in the next term. And my number is 13. And I am selected it because it's in my notebook. I written it and nobody will select it because everybody think that it is a very bad number. That's why I only selected.
Smart thinking. Sam
It,
failed it.
it is a
Sam
bad number.
failed it. Sam is someone who caught you actually. Think about the smartness. But nice. Thank you.
Even I thought it's a bad number, so I did not write.
Oh, are you serious? I never think about it.
I
but
don't know.
I never wrote. Okay, I'll not tell the secrets. Okay. Deepika, you said 4. Any reason?
I don't know. It's just random.
Oh,
I-
okay. Random number.
Can I know the previous numbers? Like after 1, what the number?
Oh, Sam has all the numbers. You're on mute, Sam.
Actually,
1, 1, 4, 3, 12. And
now
13 now, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Tamara, you were saying something?
No, you're telling the numbers.
Numbers, I was helping with the numbers.
Okay, sure. Got it. Sam, do we go with the speakers or do we have any more?
No, go with the speaker, I think.
Okay. It's me. I'll park myself for last. Vidya. We have Vidya.
Hey everyone, my topic, the name of the chapter is Let the Other Person Save Face. Am I clearly audible? Okay, cool. Thank you. So some of us might have experience working in teams and in corporate culture, wherein we notice, not just corporate, about most organizations with a large number of people, wherein we notice that somebody is really awesome at their job. And then the monthly business objectives are met. Then there's the quarterly appraisal. There's a 360-degree appraisal and stuff. And then the person is promoted to the next level. So some people choose to go to the technical side and some people choose to go to the managerial side. Those people are sensible. But there are other organizations and people who feel that being a manager and bossing over others is the right progressive path in a company. So maybe these individuals were really good at their job and then they got promoted and then they became a manager. But not necessary that they've got good people management skills. So a similar thing happened in this chapter in a General Electric company. There's this really spectacularly awesome guy called Charles Steinmetz. I'm going to say just the first name because I'm finding the last name difficult to pronounce. So he was excellent in all things electrical. Okay, General Electric company. He was excellent in all things electrical. And he was at that point in time the head of the department. Unfortunately, for the employees as well as for the organizations, he was really bad at his job. So the company had to get rid of him from that position of head of the department. And they were wondering, how do we go about this? Because he's an extremely sensitive individual. And though he's awesome at his job and his expertise is needed by the General Electric company, firing him from that job will probably not help with his morale and end up causing problems for the company. So what they did was letting the other person save face. What they did was they created a brand new position called consulting engineer. And they just gave him that role like a promotion. And they hired somebody else or they got someone else to head the department that he was originally heading. So Charles got to do what he was really good at. And the company got what they wanted, that is retaining the employee, probably with even better morale because he's got a promotion, right? And gently taking away the role for which he was clearly unsuitable, and thus increasing the other employees' ability to work better. So in Hindi, they say, ek something, say 2 birds. No, that's in English. 1 stone, 2 birds. So this is what happened here. So it's really, the reason I went elaborate on this is because it's so important when we give feedback, when we criticize someone in the name of constructive criticism. It's really important to not hurt the dignity and ego of the other person. In the first place, you're not supposed to have ego, but then we're humans. We do tend to make mistakes, and we do tend to take things other people say to heart. So we really got to remember what this French, I'm going to read it out, a French aviation pioneer and author has said, "I have no right to say or do anything that diminishes a man in his own eyes. What matters is not what I think of him, but what he thinks of himself. Hurting a man in his dignity is a crime." Okay, just see the import of the words. Okay, hurting a person's dignity is a crime. Why? I mean, we see examples all around us. There was 2 other examples given about how do you fire an employee. There are some organizations during the tax accounting processes, they hire a lot of people, and then after the tax accounting season is over, they need to let go of the employees. And this happens every year, okay? So it's pretty well known that you have a lot of employees that need to be let go. And how do you fire them? There are 2 ways. One is you tell them, okay, see, the season is over. Some people have to go. You're one of the ones. Goodbye. The other way is you try and see if you can actually tell the employee something good or positive that they may have done. As Sam said, you don't need to fake it. If there is something, any opportunity for you to appreciate the person in his work or in his attitude, mention that. Make it a more humane approach. And this is not applicable just to managers, okay? We are all at any given point in time while interacting with people managing either the work or the task or the current situation, or even Corona, for example, right? So we need to look for opportunities of positive feedback. We need to really look and see if we can find something positive before we end up giving the critical feedback. And this does not mean that you cook up some lies. It only means you're always on the constant lookout of how can we be more positive in our communication with the other person, especially when it is slightly bad or negative news or feedback to be given. So the gist of the chapter is this, and wonderful examples, very memorable. Chapter 5, principle number 5. So a true leader will always remember to allow the other person to save face. Thank you.
Wow, great talk, Vidya.
Tessie, sorry, I forgot my number. So if I choose the number that I've written on my sheet, isn't that cheating?
No, it's okay. There's only one number, right?
If it is there in
It's
my
always
sheet,
fair.
if it is in your sheet and my sheet, it is not cheating.
Okay, the number is 10. That's my numerological number.
Limi also has it. I am not getting even single number. Oh God. Okay.
You can take Sam's sheet.
I better take it from Sam. And I think Limi has also got maximum numbers. But with your great talk, thank you so much. That's like a refresher. I know the job, like you said, not hurting the dignity of the person, and the job that we are in, when we are managing people or in HR, it gets really tricky to handle those situations or conversations. It's like a refresher for me, for sure, personally, and also a lot of people who are managing their teams. I'm sure they have to handle it directly as well. So I think the way we put it across, or the opportunities that we create for everyone, is really important. If they're not right for that particular job, or even if they're right and they're not needed anymore, is really important. So thank you so much. That's a great talk and it helps a lot. I kind of remember vaguely some example which happened recently, but I'm not able to. Let me recall it, and then maybe end of the session I'll share it. But thank you so much, Vidya. That was a great talk.
Thank you.
So good evening, everyone. Today I have from the same book, How to Win Friends and Influence the People. Chapter 3, the section 3 and chapter 7 is how to get the cooperation. So here the author is given 4-5 life scenarios, how that cooperation will really helps every individual. So there was an automobile industry. The authors, one of the student, he was working as a manager in automotive industry, and after taking sessions with the author, he have done some changes in the marketing team. So generally people would be called out and given a target and you work and come back. But this guy have done something different, that he called out his entire sales team, and he heard from them basically what you people need, what you wanted to say to me, or what you are expecting from me. So when he called out the workforce and he heard a bunch of requests or concerns or something, he noted down and he have told, I will assure what is required, I will meet. Then for as a return, what shall I expect from you people? The moment he asked, there was a fast and quick response from his team, that you can expect the loyalty and the time and the productivity and the good sales and everything. So here the same manager, same team, what made a change? So basically the manager just took an additional step to hear from the team what they really think, whether it is being implemented, whether everything is being addressed, that is secondary. At least they will have a feel of, at least I have been heard by my manager, let me help him. That's the one story. And this is not just with the business alone. In the next stories, it is going with the politics as well. So in one of the US president having his assistants team or a members team, and there is a person whose name is again a house, some W house will come. So he among the assistants or the next level of house members, he have been thought that this guy is influencing the president on all his thoughts. Let's say that there are then 10 proposals or 10 suggestions. The president is always taking that particular WH person's the ideas. How that's happening? Then the house himself, he started realizing that it accidentally he identified that he wanted some outcome, but when he tried to push that into a president's mind, he failed. It is not happened properly, and he in return he got only failures. So alternatively, what he started doing is he will inject his ideas slowly to president's mind, not on the very neck of the moment that you just do this. I need this. This is the right thing. Slowly, he will inject his ideas or thought process, and after some days or an hours, when we really need to make a decision, president will take a decision that what that house person wanted. The president is thinking that I have made my own decision, but that is being influenced by the assistant or the house member. But the house member, don't want to take the credit. He wanted a result. Rather claiming it is my idea, he wanted to say that the result is going to get benefit of his idea, right? So that is second thing. And likewise, there are a couple of stories keep going on. So what the bottom line is, let the other person feel that the idea of hers or him is being taken. So either you wanted that the ego of your idea is being implemented, or that the result of the outcome. So you should make the other person feel they have been heard and their advice is being taken. So people will start liking and start contributing. So actually, I read this story just this morning. I have a manager who always does it. He generally, when he wanted to assign something, though he is more than double of my experience, he will not tell what's supposed to be. Rather saying how supposed to be. He will just tell what he wanted. But how it is, he will just leave it to us. So then I will feel like I have been given such a big person here, given something to me, let me put my effort and let me finish it. So most of the leaders, people who have already shined in the industry, they are already started following. So as Deepika was saying, right, though we already know some kind of an assurance is required that this works. So that's the learning from the book what I have for you people today.
Great talk, Tamarai. I mean, actually, we could relate to a lot of examples, right? A lot of examples like MS Dhoni. I mean, we know he leads the team from front, but he's got a lot of ideas and he works with his brains and he actually inculcates that seed into the team. And I mean, he's a great leader, no two ways about it. And it is not seen. And and also, I think prioritizing is something that you were talking about as well. You either want the end result, or you either want to showcase people that you have a great idea. So you need to choose, you need to be smart which one you want to choose. But great talk, thank you so much. It adds a lot of value to my thought processes actually. Thank you.
She told, right? I guess.
Good job. She said 5, correct?
It's a 5. Yes, you're right.
She said 5 and Tamarai told 9, is it?
9, yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, Sam, you will have, how many numbers did we get till now? Like 8 of them?
8 of them.
8. 2 more, is it? Okay, great. Do we have any more speakers, Sam? I don't see anyone here on the list to be part of the call. Do we?
You and me is pending.
Okay, great. Okay. I'll just continue with what Suman has left, right? It's a connecting topic, Sam, so I'll finish it and then maybe you can take it at the end. Suman was talking about not to argue, right? That's a topic, if I get it right. I'm also talking about something very similar, a formula that works wonders for you. And it is, I mean, the chapter speaks a lot about training your mind and how are you going to put across your thought processes about other people and understand and act accordingly, correct? Do not just jump into the conclusion or try to defend or offend people. This is the gist of the topic. And throughout the week I was going through a couple of videos, right? I was listening to it, and I listened to Gaur Gopal Das, and I've told this in the past also. So I was listening to one of his speeches, and he was talking about an example that he has faced. Once he was sitting in a institute or university where there are like 21 to 25-year-old kids sitting and listening to him, and he is reciting kirtans. So he's singing and he's talking, which he does generally. So and he saw there was an old lady who is like 80 plus years old, who is sitting, who was a grandmother of one of the students. And this lady is experienced for like 35 years in singing, and she's practiced it, she's learned it, she's trained in the music and singing kind of thing. And every time he sings, everyone, like whoever is there in the audience, generally comes and says, oh, you're amazing, you were amazing, you were doing really good, you sang really well and stuff. But he does not care a lot about those compliments, because he knows half of the people there are less knowledge and do not exactly know what singing is or how the surs are or how the music goes and stuff. But he was waiting for this old lady to actually compliment him by end of the show. So he was waiting, he was only singing for her basically that particular day. And after the show is over, then this boy comes up and says, my grandmother is here. Everyone started complimenting, and this Gaur Gopal Das is waiting. And this boy comes up and says, my grandmother is here, would you like to talk? And he was like, yeah, of course I would like to talk. And then he does not show that he is waiting for the compliments from the lady, because she's experienced. He's just standing there and he's talking, and he just said, I think I'm not that great with my sur today, and I didn't do so well. And the old lady says, yeah, you didn't. Like she just says, yeah, yes. And then he's like, okay, what is this? Why is she so upfront, and why is she saying this to me? I mean, it's so bad. How can she say it on my face that I was not good when so many people compliments me, right? And after a certain point, he was surprised, and after a certain point, for everything she was like, yeah, yes, the answers, right? And this grandchild of hers come and says, sir, I'm really sorry. my grandmom has hearing issue and she forgot her hearing aid. So just to cover that up, she always says yeah whenever she has not carried her whatever hearing aid, right? So he was like in a shock, and I'm like, oh damn, I didn't know that was an issue. And I started judging her. I started complaining about the attitude that she's carrying. And also I was like, okay, why is she talking to me like this? She cannot talk to me like this, right? So he has created a perception about her without understanding the situation or without knowing what is happening in his brain. It's already uh, fixed that something bad she has done. And then he realizes this is not the way how we need to train ourselves or our brain or our mind. It's very important for us to train our mind, understand the circumstances or the situations that people are going through or in, the way they're talking or the way they're presenting. They're doing it because they're in certain situation or the choices. Every one of us have choices, right? Whatever we talk, it's because we want to talk that way, or whatever we present is because we want to do it that particular way. So it's very important to understand from that perspective and then get into talking to the people, not to defend or offend anyone or any of the conversations. So that was all I could connect with from that example. And also one of the points that I could also connect is with Gita, right? Keeping all the religious aspects or any book, any divine book that we follow, correct? Be it Gita or Quran, Bible, whatever. Uh, any of the book says the mind should be your friend and not an enemy, correct? Whenever you're performing certain acts, it should actually act in favor of you. It should not act against you. And exactly like Gita is all around Krishna Arjuna Yuddham, right? So in that also Krishna trains Arjun and Arjun's brain to act a certain way. So he wins that particular task. So it's very important for all of us to train our brain and mind to act certain way, which does not harm any of us. With that, I'm done. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Yasin. I think it was a wonderful example about Gaur Gopal Das. I've heard the story. But when we were talking about it, I just realized, okay, I didn't know. I forgot the ending actually. What was that? Hearing aid. So it was a wonderful story. Good stuff.
Yes.
Your number.
My number is number 8. That's my date of birth, and I love that number. And it's an even number, so I like even numbers. Just like that.
Okay.
Sam, do you have 8? Limit, do you have 8? Oh, I won, Sam. I won.
I think we are sitting together. We can take the combination, no? The total sum together.
No. Only from your sheet. Yes, Sam. It's your turn now.
Okay, I'll tell you the number first. Mine is 15.
Yay! Yes.
Okay, before I start, we'll find out the winner. Who's that?
Okay. It's you, Sam. I think it's you. You're so excited.
Sam, I have 6 strikeouts out of 10.
Okay.
Same here, Tamarai, but I don't think we have won. Forget it.
I have 7.
Oh, Vidya.
Oh, Vidya.
I have 5.
Mine also 6 actually.
Who is 6? Who is Suman, is it?
Suman.
Okay.
Yeah, mine also 6, right?
We have clear-cut winner. We can give it to Sam. We can forget.
No, I think we have a tie actually. Even I have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Listen, come to a common point. I'll order dessert and both of you can share and have. Okay.
So you have to send 2 packets.
I do not mind. Please, if you all do not mind, drop me a message with your address. Okay. I love food and
I will definitely do that.
Yes, Sam.
And I'm happy. I am happy.
Limi is complimentary. Vidya, please share your address. I'd be really happy and I do not mind at all. I mean,
thank you, Daisy. Some other time, definitely I will.
Yeah, whenever you feel like, whenever you feel like eating something, just let me know. Sam, you can drop me a message right away.
I'll keep in mind that you're the foodie of the day.
So Vidya is in a far away as well. I think she's in Osur, right? Vidya now? Okay. Yeah. Zomato will be there, right?
Yeah,
We can,
yeah,
yeah,
Swiggy, Zomato.
then it is not a problem.
Yeah, but congratulations, both of you. Good job.
Thank you.
And had a lot of fun. Sam, it's you now. We have
Okay,
last
so
few
we have
minutes.
already 9:58, so I'll take like 2-3 minutes to do that. So I'm going to talk about one of the chapter in this. It says about, let me read that. It's a big one. Okay, he who can do this has the whole world with him, and he who cannot walks a lonely way. I'll repeat it. I'll put it in the chat actually, so that you will understand. It's a big one. Okay. Good. I think joining this session gave me like a lot of information. Limi spoke about remembering the names, how to connect with people. Suvarna talk about admit it if you're wrong, admit it. I think I use this word in my emails most of the time. My mistake, so because I've done a mistake, I'll admit it. It's my mistake, so don't worry, I'll take care of it. Right? Vinuta spoke about be interested in other people. Keep always show interest in other people. Vidya spoke about let the other person save the face. Good thing. Tamrai spoke about connection. Suman spoke about argument, and Tasin continued with the connection again on that. It was good stuff. I think this idea worked out. At least we got to know, n number of things how to connect with people. So what I'm going to talk about, let me tell you the story. Probably I'll put it in this way. I know everybody knows that I'm from Kerala, and it's about my childhood. So it was a fabulous childhood. I would say very nice childhood because at the time of vacation, we used to go for 2 months vacation to Kerala. So that was a normal vacation. Now, in olden days, there is nothing called as, taking vacation and going somewhere. It was always hometown, going to mummy's place or papa's place. That was the vacation basically. We didn't know what is Munnar, what is Ooty. Now every kids want to go at different places. Mama's place and all is not a vacation for them, right? That's how it is. So, and my father's place is amazing place. When you go out of the house, you can say huge paddy field. My grandfather was a landlord at that time, but after after this Gandhi, what is that, Rajiv Gandhi or Indira Gandhi's emergency period and all, he lost a lot of money and he became poor. But that before that, he was a landlord. And my mom's dad is also is kind of a criminal actually, I would say. So he used to sell spirit, the spirit, daru, right? So it was not legal at that time in Kerala and all. So it's so he used to hide it and sell it, and he was like a rowdy that time there. And he also had house in a coastal region, so where you come out of the house and you can see amazing sea view. You can see that, and you can go for fishing, you can go for boating, backwaters and everything actually. And we used to enjoy going to Kerala because that was one thing. So I want to take an example of that here. So when I used to go for fishing, me and my brother used to go fishing, and we used to like this 3 things there. We used to like mangoes in Kerala, and there is something called as lubikia. I think Indian, I don't know what they call it as, Indian plum. I don't know whether you heard about Indian plum. I'm not sure. So it's a little sour fruit, which is really good to make achar, and also they make achar in Kerala actually, very nice to eat as well. And also there is cashew apples. You have heard about cashew apples? It's a very nice fruit actually. So we used to eat that, and also in Kerala there is a lot of chips as well. So when you go to fishing, most of the times what we used to do is on the hook, we used to keep these apple, cashew chips, and then put it on this one, and fish come. Fish never used to come, right? Because fish is not interested. It's only me and human beings are interested in your cashew fruit or chips or whatever. Because fish wanted something else. Fish wanted worms. Fish wanted all these caterpillar or whatever, anything from which they can eat it. And we were scared about it because my elder brother used to dig inside the mud and used to take the worm, and the live worm, he used to keep it on that hook and put it there. So, and the fish, we used to catch the fish. So why I'm telling this example is, see, most of the times we think that whatever we like, the other person also like. But actually it is not like, so the other person does not like what we like. So we always talk about ourselves, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, and end up there. So what author says is, whenever, like a fishing example, why don't you use the same terminology or maybe the same idea when you're fishing for people? So if you want people, you need to talk about what they want and what not what you want. For example, if you want somebody to get into this book club, you cannot go and tell that I am running a book club, I am part of Peak Impact Mentorship, I've run 100 books, I know so many things, I've read so many leadership books. He is never interested. He will tell, what the heck, man, I don't want to know about how many books you read. You tell me what is there in store for me if I come into your book club, what I can get from the book club, right? He's not interested in Sam. He's interested in what he can get it actually. So I can give another example of my father's place where I used to go. So he used to I used to find all kind of animals, normal domestic animals in my father's place. He had my grandfather had cows, sheep, hen, duck, even cats and dogs, all those stuffs actually. And one day me and my brother again went there, and my mama told me, so there is a calf there, you bring a calf. It was a small calf nearby when I was in 6th, 7th standard, same height, same size, like us only, same small calf. And the only thing is that it had 4 legs, that's it. So you want to pull, he told pull it inside and put it inside the barn. So you have to push it inside that, and we tried pulling it, and amazing, I don't know, it's so much of strength in it actually. We both of them trying to pull it, he's just standing like this stable. He's like, no, I am not going to come, that's it. But that, I don't know whether you had the experience of playing with calf and cow and things like that, but that's how happened. You pull it, if they are stubborn, whatever you do, they will not move from there, that's it. That's it. And my mama came, I don't know what did he do, he just came near his the calf's mouth, and his maternal finger, he put it in his mouth and he started sucking it. And he just moved from there with the finger inside his mouth and moved. It slowly started moving, and he went into the barn. So then now I'm trying to relate that what calf wanted was something else. So calf want to drink milk and not pulling, and it is not going to eat. Want his mother near to her and take him to the barn actually. So that's how it happened. So the same thing, that's an example about it actually. So whenever we talk to others, talk in terms of what other people want rather than talking people what we want actually. Because what author says, one nugget actually, I just made a note of it. The self-expression is dominant and necessary of a human nature actually, for everybody. Self-expression, it's like I know that I want to express myself, but it will not work when you want to connect with people. So they have to express themselves, to ask their questions more, what they are doing, how they are, what are they into, what are their interests, everything. Once you ask that, you can connect more with people rather than we trying to tell ourselves and connecting with people. I think we have done that error. Me and Limi have done this error some 6 years back when we were starting our own business and kind of thing. So we want to pitch business to people, and most of the times we ended up saying everything about ourselves. We do this, we do that, everything and all. And end of the day, you'll tell, no, I'm not interested in these things, and also later. So it's like when you connect with people, it's like I don't know whether you heard about I told you in the book club or not. So I'm not sure whether you people are aware of this person called Mahatreya in Tamil Nadu. So he is Infinitesium. He runs Infinitesium, one of the kind of Sadguru kind of thing itself, but he was a little different in that. So he talks about the Saptavadanayam. Right, communication is a 7 layers actually. It's not one layer of communication, just like Tamare was telling, right? So when you want to put some idea into somebody's mind, you need to keep on telling that slowly, one by one, layer by layer, and that the next person executes that automatically because you are putting that in their mind. So it's the same thing what he says also here. So when you communicate, you know, to go putting it in a 7 layers. So why I'm telling you this example is it's the same thing with other people also. When you want to connect with people, it is not a one call, just one call and you get connected. It's like a couple of calls you made, or talk to them, and then a sale happens. So if you want to get a sale, you need to a couple of times call them, understand his interest, talk about his interest, and then get that sale actually. Most of the sales people fail, author says in this, is because whenever somebody want to pitch a sales, so most of the times the salesman pitches about his product and not about others' need. Like example is given in one, I'll just give this example and close this. And one person goes to buy a land in US actually, and this person was looking for something like a backwaters, more of greenery, and he can do a peaceful place where you want to do things like that. But the salesperson says, okay, we have amazing place, there is a clubhouse, you can go for music here, you have a swimming pool here and everything, which he actually is not looking for. So he's looking for something different. So unless you understand other person's interest, what he want, we will not be able to connect with people, or we cannot do a sales, or we cannot get him to our understanding or what we want from them actually. That's what the chapter says. Amazing chapter. I think that's it from my end, essence. That's what I want to convey.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Great talk, Sam. I think good sales or service.